Michael Caputo is the longtime Republican political consultant, former Donald Trump campaign aide, Roger Stone protege, he has spoken with the Mueller investigators, and he's kind enough to join us this early in the morning. Hey, Michael, good morning. Thanks for joining us this early. How you doing, my friend?
I'm okay, Joe. How are you?
Good. Well, we're fired up, and we appreciate you jumping on. You were great. Were you with Tucker last night? Is that right?
Yeah, I was. I've been out there quite a bit trying to swing for the fences on Roger's behalf.
Yeah,
It's been a really tough couple of days.
I know, and you were great, by the way, on the air. And I got to tell you, and we know Roger. Roger's like a friend. What is going on here, Michael? And if this doesn't show everybody how ridiculous this probe is, going after Roger Stone, the way they went after Roger Stone, dying to hear your take on it, Michael Caputo.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, for a country that's been so concerned about how the Russians were meddling in our election, it sure looks like we all live in Russia now. Certainly Roger Stone was living in Russia on Friday morning when they came at him with 29 men armed with automatic weapons. I mean, the guy's pushing 70 years old. He doesn't have a valid passport. He doesn't own any guns. They knew all of that, and of course, it didn't matter at all. They came in and just and dragged him out. I mean, they could have asked him like they do, others, to present themselves at the station at a certain time. He would have done it.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, these guys at the Mueller operation have not been in touch with Roger Stone. I mean, they frankly, his first contact with the Mueller operation was in his pajamas.
Wow. How did they contact you initially? How did they contact you, Michael?
Through my attorneys.
Yeah.
My attorney one day called me and he said, we got that call we didn't want to get. It's kind of like that. You're sitting around waiting to see if they want to talk to you.
Right.
And they've talked to, I guess, nigh on, 45, 50 people. So, a lot of people have gotten that call. And while Roger said that the FBI agents who were involved in this were all very courteous, the people who planned it, the people who decided what armaments were necessary, the people who decided to lay on 2 boats to go to the canal dock behind his house. I mean, those people certainly weren't the kind who cut from the same fold of cloth as the FBI agents who were there and treated Roger with respect.
Yeah, it's so funny because I talked to Roger on the air yesterday, and I said, what happened now? And there were 2 amphibious boats in the canal behind Roger. And I said, Roger, what did they expect to do? Jump in and swim? He said, I don't swim. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. And then, Michael, take it the next step, CNN. How does CNN get there? And they're not denying it. You know it, and I know it. The Mueller probe, and this is me just talking, but it's so obvious. They called CNN. Robert Mueller wanted this on camera.
Well, I'll tell you, if they did, it looks like they made a mistake, didn't they? Because now all of America knows exactly what they did to Roger Stone. All of America saw these men with automatic weapons going into Roger's house. Maybe the Mueller team called them, and if they did, they probably made a mistake because we've heard about this before. We heard about how they raided Paul Manafort's home in the early morning hours.
Yep.
And broke in. I mean, picked the lock, came in the house, went into their bedroom with guns drawn, and made Paul's wife get out of the bed in her night clothes at gunpoint. So we heard about that, but it's one thing to hear about it. It's another to see it. And there we saw it. All the world saw it. So maybe CNN was a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's inexcusable what happened. And did they? And Roger told me too, Michael. They pointed the guns at Roger. They had weapons pointed at Roger when he opened the door. You heard that as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And not just one, probably half a dozen, as many as could fit into his face. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the same film you did.
Yeah.
These guys were all carrying heavy weapons.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, I think Roger's gonna do well fighting these charges. He's been fighting these charges because they've all been aired out in the media. Everything you saw in that indictment has been aired out in the media, and Roger has been fighting them tooth and nail.
Yeah.
Every single time somebody wrote about them in the media, Roger would put forth the evidence and send an email out to thousands of reporters. Roger was talking on the media when they were inviting him but he was also communicating with thousands of reporters every single day via email, and also posting stories to back up his evidence at any news site that it would allow him to post a story.
Yeah.
So Roger has been communicating widely about this. I think it's important for people to see. If you're following this closely, like I unfortunately have been, three of the biggest issues that they've been that the media and others in the investigation teams on the House and the Senate side have been claiming that have been crimes committed by Roger are not in this indictment. First of all, there's all the talk about that tweet that he sent where it was going to be the Podesta's time in the barrel.
Right.
Nothing in there about the Podesta tweet. Nothing in there about him allegedly communicating with Guccifer. Nothing in there about him having advance notice of WikiLeaks content. Nothing. You know why? Because Roger Stone was communicating every single day about how those charges were bogus. And I'll tell you, the Mueller team was getting his emails, and they were looking at the evidence he was putting forward and saying, you know what? He's got proof against this, so we're not going to charge him. They never contacted Roger Stone. They read, but they saw what he was putting out in public, and they realized he was not guilty. When they see the other evidence he has, they're going to have a hard time proving it.
And you're one of the most prominent people featured in the Netflix documentary Get Me, Roger Stone, that Frankie co-produced, with Morgan Peckme. One of the people cut out of that documentary was Randy Credico, who Roger says was his back channel to Julian Assange. What do we know about Credico, Michael Caputo?
Oh my goodness! Credico's been woven in and out of the fabric of my life because he was following Roger around like a puppy for so many years. I mean, I've never seen the guy sober. He says he's a comedian, but he's really not funny at all. And he's done so many drugs and drank so much in his life. He's an impressionist. He's an impressionist.
Really? Wait. Well, hold on. What impressions does he do? So you're sitting around with Credico, and he's doing impressions. Does he do Julian Assange? What impressions does he do?
He does. His impressions used to be spot on. He does a great Nixon. He did a pretty good Roger Stone.
No,
he did great. But now he's been so self-abusive over the years.
Yeah.
His Richard Nixon sounds like his Sally Field. I mean, they're all the same now. They've all melded together. And the crazy thing is, he talks in Richard Nixon's voice when he's being interviewed on television. And from my understanding, when he was in front of the grand jury, he was talking in impressionist voice.
Let me recollect exactly. That's scary, man. That is scary. Hey, I got to tell you, Michael.
This is where the Mueller investigation is now.
I know.
This is where it is.
Good point.
They're in the freak show tent.
It's a freak show. Great. That's exactly what this is. Michael, the thing is, and I hear in your voice, and when I watch you on Tucker last night, and I see you with Sean, it's like I could hear in your voice. You go, why did this happen to me? I could hear it, and correct me if I'm wrong. You're going like, what did I do? I did nothing, and now they're coming after me, and I could hear it in your voice, and we feel for you, and we appreciate your time on the radio. But Roger Stone, Roger, don't you think he was like made for this? Come on, he's living for this. He is like at the top of his game right now. This is like a whole show, and it's gonna make what the Mueller people don't understand, Michael, is that Roger Stone now will be, I think, an American folk hero. Am I right?
No doubt. I mean, Roger was kind of emerging with that status, as you said, from that film, Get Me, Roger Stone, until he started putting the camper on it.
Yeah.
But you're right. Roger Stone was built for this. He does not want to be a part of this. It has destroyed him financially. And he's strong as an ox. He wakes up every morning ready to fight these charges.
Yep.
But it has destroyed him financially. That's why I'm raising money for him at RogerStoneGoFundMe.com. All the proceeds go to his legal fund. It's RogerStoneGoFundMe.com.
All right.
He is absolutely leveled financially, and that's the whole thing here.
Yeah.
They want to level you financially so you can't defend yourself, and you are forced to lie about the president.
Yeah.
He will never do that, and I want to make sure that he has all the funds he needs to fight these people all the way to the end.
And Michael, one last question, please. Don't you think, and I've been saying this the last 2 days, no matter what happens, let's say they'll go after Roger and they indict him and they convict him and that sort of thing. Don't you think the president pardons him in 20 minutes? You think the President Trump will pardon Roger Stone?
Well, I don't really. When I talk about pardons, I want to knock on wood. These things are so so perilous. These are
fair enough.
sacrosanct
Sure,
duties
sure.
of they're sacrosanct duties of the President of the United States, and I really think if anyone deserves a pardon, it's Roger Stone, because he would not be caught up in this mess.
Okay.
None of these crimes were crimes he committed leading up to the presidency. These are all process crimes alleged they say he committed as they were investigating. Well, as they were investigating all around him, and never once called him. So for the president, I think to look at his power of the pardon, Roger Stone should be at the top of the list.
Michael, you're very gracious to join us. God bless, Godspeed, and keep us posted, Michael Caputo, and all the very best. And appreciate you always joining us, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. Have a great day.
You too, Michael. Thanks so much. Piscopo in the morning. Debbie Duham is out there 10 minutes before 7 o'clock.